Imagine for a moment you're standing at the edge of an endless, flowing river. The water moves steadily, carrying with it all the particles, minerals, and nutrients needed to nourish everything it touches. This flow is the essence of the universe, a constant movement of energy giving life, abundance, and balance. Now here's the intriguing part. Just as this river keeps moving to stay alive, the universe too depends on a steady flow of giving and receiving. This is what we call the law of giving. The law of giving tells us that in order to keep the energy flowing, we must both give and receive. It's a cycle, a rhythm like breathing. To only take is to disrupt the flow. To give only with expectations is to close ourselves off from true abundance. When we give truly, genuinely, from the heart, we aren't just offering something material, we're setting an energy in motion, an energy that comes back to us, often multiplied. Now you might think, is this just about being generous or doing good deeds? Yes, and so much more. The universe doesn't just respond to our actions, it responds to our intentions, our sincerity. When we give, not out of obligation but from a place of deep kindness, it's like planting seeds. These seeds grow, often in the most unexpected ways, nurturing our lives and the lives of others. You've probably felt it before, the satisfaction that comes from helping someone without expecting anything in return. That warm glow, that sense of connection is no coincidence. It's the universe confirming that the flow of energy is real, that in giving, we are aligning ourselves with a profound truth. And as we move further, we'll explore how giving in all its forms activates something much larger, a cycle of energy that is both humbling and empowering. Because in giving we don't lose, we expand. And in receiving we're reminded that the universe too is generous and boundless. Are you ready to dive deeper? If this journey into the depths of the universe's flow speaks to you, then don't let it end here. Hit that subscribe button and drop a like to keep these insights alive and flowing. When you engage, you're not just showing support, you're inviting more of this wisdom into your life. Join us and let's keep the energy of discovery moving forward together. Picture this. Every act of giving is like casting a stone into still water. The ripples spread outwards, touching everything in their path, eventually circling back. This is the power of giving. It activates what some call the flow of abundance. It's a principle that the universe is constantly providing, that resources and opportunities aren't finite but limitless, as long as the energy is allowed to move freely. Here's the magic. When we give, we're not losing anything. Instead, we're participating in a universal flow that brings more back to us. Think of it like planting seeds. You don't hold on to them, you release them into the soil, trusting that they'll grow. The same is true with acts of giving. When we share with others, we're not just providing for them, we're inviting abundance into our own lives. You see, this energy exchange is natural. Imagine if we all held back, afraid to share our resources, time, or kindness. The flow would stall and the universe would feel stagnant. By giving freely, we keep this essential flow moving, allowing prosperity and opportunities to circulate endlessly, returning to us in surprising and fulfilling ways. In our next step, we'll look at how this flow brings about a principle of reciprocity, one that makes sure that, in giving, we always receive. Now, let's go deeper into this cycle, what I like to think of as the cosmic echo of giving. The universe, you see, has a unique way of mirroring back whatever we put into it. This is reciprocity, an age-old concept that transcends cultures and beliefs. It's almost as if the universe has its own set of scales, perfectly balancing every act of kindness, every moment of generosity, with something that eventually finds its way back to us. I believe that when we give genuinely, without expecting anything specific in return, we're engaging in something truly powerful. It's like opening a door, trusting that something good will walk through it, even if we don't know what or when. I've seen this countless times in my own life, and maybe you have too. You offer a helping hand to someone, maybe even a stranger, and months or years later, in a completely different form, the universe responds. Maybe it's an opportunity you never saw coming, or a person who suddenly appears just when you need them most. This idea of universal reciprocity isn't about keeping score. It's not a transaction where we give only to receive. Instead, it's about aligning ourselves with the rhythm of the universe, a rhythm that respects and returns our sincerity. In a way, giving is like placing trust in this cosmic cycle, a deep belief that the universe is fair and generous in ways we can't always predict. It's fascinating to realize that every act of giving we put out there, whether it's material, emotional, or even just our time, creates ripples that return to us. It's an endless loop of energy that flows outward and back, connecting us to something bigger, a universal harmony that's always at work. Next, we'll dive into one of the most crucial aspects of giving, the intention behind it. Because as powerful as giving can be, it's our intent that shapes its impact. Intent. It's the unseen force behind every gift we give. Imagine two people giving the same gift. Let's say, a simple meal to someone in need. One person gives because they genuinely want to help, to offer warmth and kindness. The other gives out of obligation or worse, for recognition. Now, the meal might look the same, but energetically it's worlds apart. This is where the power of intention comes into play. In the law of giving, intention is like the soul of the action. It's what makes a simple act resonate far beyond its physical form. And here's something that, to me, feels almost magical. When we give with sincerity, without strings attached, we amplify that gift's impact in ways we might never see. A sincere gift can inspire, uplift, and even transform. And not just for the person receiving it, it has a profound effect on the giver too. I felt this difference firsthand. When I give purely with no expectation, there's this sense of fulfillment, a quiet joy that fills my heart. But on the rare occasions when my giving was clouded with expectation, I've noticed a hollowness, a feeling that something is missing. That's the universe reminding us that true giving isn't about recognition or reward. It's about connecting, about sharing a piece of ourselves without reservation. The purity of our intention transforms a gift into something powerful, something that ripples out into the world, touching lives in ways we may never even know. It's a reminder that, in the grand scheme of things, it's not the size or value of the gift that matters, but the heart that it comes from. Next, let's explore how we can bring this law into our everyday lives, through simple, meaningful acts of generosity that resonate deeply with this universal flow. Now that we've touched on intention, let's look at how we can actually live this law in our day-to-day lives. The beauty of the law of giving is that it doesn't demand grand gestures or vast resources. It's in the small, thoughtful acts, the everyday kindnesses, that this universal flow thrives. Start with material generosity. This doesn't mean you need to give away everything you own, but rather share what you can where you can. It could be as simple as donating clothes you no longer wear or offering a meal to someone who could use it. When we give from what we have, no matter how small, we're telling the universe, I trust there's enough for everyone, including me. Then there's sharing knowledge. This is one of the most underrated yet impactful ways to give. Think about a skill, a lesson, or a piece of wisdom you've gained. By teaching or guiding someone who needs it, you're not just helping them, you're adding to this energetic flow that makes us all grow. I've seen how sharing knowledge builds connections, creates mutual respect, and amplifies that cosmic reciprocity we discussed earlier. Another form of giving that often goes overlooked is simple acts of kindness. A genuine smile, a compliment, a moment spent helping a stranger. All these little gestures have a way of lifting not only the other person's spirit but our own as well. It's as though kindness, once given, doubles in effect, creating an atmosphere of positivity that lingers long after. Lastly, consider the gift of time and attention. In our busy lives, giving someone our undivided attention has become rare and precious. When you truly listen to someone, engage with them fully, you're not just offering your time, you're acknowledging their worth. And believe me, this can be one of the most profound gifts you can give. As we move forward, let's take a look at real-life examples that illustrate the incredible impact of these types of giving. We'll see how small acts, rooted in sincerity, become ripples that change lives and in turn, inspire even more generosity. Let's dive into stories that showcase the true essence of giving and how even the simplest acts can have a profound impact. These aren't just stories of charity or large donations. They're powerful examples of the ripple effect that starts with a single, sincere gesture. Take, for example, the concept of volunteering. Think about the people who give their time to shelters, hospitals, or community projects. They don't just show up to lend a hand. They bring warmth, compassion, and a human connection that is often more valuable than any material support. It's that sense of presence, of showing someone they're valued, that transforms these interactions. And even though they might not see the impact immediately, they're planting seeds that grow in ways they might never witness. Then there's mentorship, a form of giving that's so personal, it often changes both the mentor and the mentee. When someone offers their experience, their hard-earned knowledge, they're giving a part of themselves. Think about it. A few words of advice at the right moment can alter someone's path entirely. I've seen people light up with confidence and clarity from the smallest pieces of guidance, and it's amazing how often that generosity returns to the mentor in ways they never expected. Community involvement is another remarkable example. When people come together for a cause, whether it's organizing a neighborhood cleanup, supporting local schools, or just hosting events that bring people together, they create a network of support that uplifts everyone involved. I believe that community is one of the strongest forms of collective giving. It's people saying, I'm here for you, and receiving that same support in return, building resilience that's shared among everyone. And let's not forget the impact of philanthropic giving, whether it's donating to a charity or sponsoring a cause. For some, financial support is their way of contributing, and when done with intention and heart, it has the power to transform lives, communities, and even generations. But what makes it truly profound is not just the money itself. It's the belief in a vision, the faith that something greater can be built and sustained. As we move forward, let's delve into the importance of balance. Why we need to be open to receiving as well as giving, to keep this energetic flow healthy and whole. Because, as we'll see, generosity is not just about outward actions but also about knowing when to let ourselves be supported by others. Here's something often overlooked in the conversation about giving: the need for balance. While the act of giving is transformative, it's only half of the equation. To truly keep this flow of energy alive, we must also be willing to receive. This part can be difficult for many of us, especially those who see generosity as a one-way street. But in reality, receiving is as essential as giving. It keeps the cycle in harmony. Imagine it this way: if everyone only gave and no one received, the flow would come to a standstill. By being open to receiving, we allow the energy to circulate fully, enriching both ourselves and the world around us. Think about it: have you ever felt the joy of someone accepting your help, a gift, or even a compliment? There's a satisfaction in knowing that they valued what you offered. When we receive with grace, we're giving that same satisfaction back to others. Personally, I found that learning to receive has been one of the most humbling and rewarding parts of my journey. It's a reminder that we're all interconnected, that generosity is not about power or superiority but about mutual support. Allowing others to give to us isn't selfish. It's acknowledging that we're all part of this universal flow, and each of us has something unique to offer and something to learn. Being open to receiving is also an act of self-respect. It says, "I am worthy of abundance, love, and support." And when we embrace this mindset, we stop depleting ourselves. We avoid the burnout that often comes from constant giving without replenishment. In our next segment, we'll discuss the importance of intention in maintaining this balance. Because as much as giving should be done with sincerity, receiving should also come from a place of openness and gratitude. Let's explore how this completes the cycle and enriches our experience of giving and receiving alike. As we embrace the flow of giving and receiving, one principle becomes crucial: intention. It's not just about what we give but why we give. When our giving is rooted in a sincere desire to help, to uplift, without hidden motives or expectations, it resonates deeply. This pure intention is what separates authentic generosity from acts that may look generous but are driven by a need for recognition or approval. When we give with pure intention, we release any need for control over how our gift is used or received. We let go of expectations, trusting that whatever we offer will find its place in the universe, creating value in ways we may never see. This act of detachment is freeing. It allows our giving to be limitless, unburdened by the weight of expectation. But here's something that's often forgotten in the discussion of generosity: self-care. True generosity cannot come from a place of depletion. If we're constantly giving without replenishing ourselves, our energy begins to drain, and our giving loses its strength. I believe deeply in this. We must nurture ourselves to be able to give from a place of abundance. Self-care isn't selfish, it's an essential part of the balance. It's about recognizing our own needs and honoring them. When we take care of our well-being, we're in a better position to give authentically, without resentment or fatigue. Think of it like filling a well. If we keep drawing from it without allowing it to replenish, eventually it will run dry. But if we take the time to refill it, we'll have endless resources to offer to others. In the next part, we'll look at how this balance between giving and self-care ties into the broader universal laws, showing us that giving is part of a much larger tapestry, one that connects us to every other law of abundance and energy. The law of giving doesn't stand alone. It's woven into a complex network of universal principles that govern energy, abundance, and our experience of reality. Think of it as one thread in a vast tapestry where every law strengthens and supports the others. When we practice giving, we are simultaneously engaging with the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect, and the law of unity. Each of these principles amplifies and enriches the impact of our giving. For instance, the law of attraction suggests that the energy we emit through giving, our kindness, generosity, and positivity, draws similar energy back into our lives. When we give freely and with an open heart, we're attracting abundance, joy, and support. It's like sending out a signal to the universe that says, "I trust in the flow of abundance." And in turn, the universe often responds by returning that trust in unexpected, beautiful ways. Then there's the law of cause and effect, which shows us that every action, no matter how small, creates a ripple in the fabric of reality. Each act of giving, each moment of generosity, sets off a chain reaction that can reach far beyond what we can see. When we give with pure intention, we're setting positive effects into motion, effects that will find their way back to us or to others in ways that often surprise us. It's a reminder that every act has value, that our giving never exists in a vacuum. And, of course, there's the law of unity, which reminds us that we are all connected. When we give, we're not just helping another person, we're lifting the collective energy of the world. Our generosity ripples out, touching people in ways we may never understand. This law shows us that true giving is about serving a purpose beyond ourselves. It's a powerful acknowledgement that we are one, that by helping others, we are also elevating our own lives and contributing to a more harmonious existence for everyone. As we conclude, let's reflect on the final piece of the law of giving, how it invites us to expand our hearts and embrace the idea that every act of generosity has a place in the vast, interconnected web of life. In our final part, we'll explore how this understanding of giving as a cosmic force can transform the way we live, love, and connect with the world around us. If this journey through the law of giving and its cosmic connections has inspired you, don't let it stop here. Hit the subscribe button to join us for more insights into the universe's wisdom. And let us know in the comments, what's one small way you plan to embrace this law in your life? We'd love to hear your thoughts. As we come to the heart of this journey, it's clear that the law of giving is far more than a set of actions. It's a way of life, a lens through which we can view every interaction, every connection. Embracing this law isn't just about occasional acts of kindness. It's about adopting a mindset of open-heartedness and trust in the flow of energy. When we give, we're not just sharing a part of ourselves, we're actively participating in the universe's cycle of abundance and growth. When we truly embrace this law, life itself begins to feel like a conversation with the universe. Each act of generosity becomes a statement of our faith in something larger than ourselves, a belief in the unseen forces that guide our existence. And as we give, we notice how the world responds, not always in obvious ways, but through subtle shifts, unexpected connections, and moments of clarity. We start to feel that we are not just individuals navigating life alone. We are part of a vast, interconnected web of energy, love, and purpose. And perhaps most importantly, living by the law of giving transforms how we view abundance. We realize that abundance isn't just about material wealth. It's a richness of experience, connection, and joy. When we give, we feel abundant because we recognize that there is always enough to share, enough to go around. This mindset frees us from the need to hoard or cling. Instead, we move through life with a spirit of generosity and openness. In the end, the law of giving invites us to see life as a dance, a flowing exchange of energy where every act of kindness, every moment of gratitude, adds beauty and harmony to the world. By embracing this way of living, we not only uplift others but also elevate our own lives, creating a legacy of love and connection that echoes long after we're gone. Thank you for joining this journey with us. Let's carry forward the spirit of giving, not as an occasional act but as a way to transform our lives and the world around us.